Hello all, welcome back. In this module, we are going to talk about the energy levels in an atom. So in our previous model, we talked about the semiconductor atoms. So as you can see in the picture, you are given this a silicon atom. The atomic number of silicon is 14, 14, because in all of its orbits, orbit 1, 2, 3, if you count the number of charge carriers, these are electrons, their total number are 14. That's why we call it silicon has an atomic number of 14. At the very core of the silicon atom has its nucleus with the positive charges carried on by the protons, and neutrons do not have charges. And these electrons, they carry the negative charges. The most important point that we want to recall here, in the outermost shell or the outermost orbit, silicon has 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These electrons are called as valence electrons. It means if these electrons acquire sufficient energy due to some natural causes such as temperature effect, photons falling on them, or an applied electric potential difference across the crystal lattice structure, these electrons find them in the free state. They can leave the orbit and they will be called as free electrons because they will be ready to contribute conduction inside the material. Now, if you look at this figure, this is an energy level diagram for this particular atom. So what you see here, we are going up in the direction of energy. And here at the bottom, as you can see here, you have a nucleus right exactly in the center. In this picture, you have a nucleus right here. So if you go up from the nucleus, you have various orbits, and each orbit has electrons, as you can see in this picture, and those electrons are said to have in a particular energy level, are said to possess or said to sit at a particular energy level. And in between those energy state, you have no energy level. So that state is empty. So that is called as energy gap. So you see, you start from the outermost orbit. This is called as the orbit where valence electrons are sitting. So right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it has got a particular energy level or energy state. At these energy states, you have valence electrons. If you come one level down, so this is the second orbit, you have another energy state in which you have few electrons, as you can see. So these electrons are also having a particular energy state or energy level. Then you come down again. This is two level down orbit. So you have another energy states. And in between these energy states, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are shown by the gray color, you do not carry any energy state or energy level. So that empty space is called as energy gap. The energy levels or energy states of the electrons closer to nucleus are said to have a lower energy state. Okay. Now, based on this theory or this understanding, we have three classes of the materials. One is called as insulator. So insulator material can be understood by means of energy level diagram. So you have this valence band where the electrons are right over here. So this is the outermost orbit of an atom of an insulator material. So these are electrons which are called as valence electrons. They are representing the electrons sitting in the outermost orbit of an insulating material, and at room temperature, you do not have any, these valence electrons do not possess sufficient energy, or they do not have sufficient energy so they can liberate themselves or free themselves. Once they will be able to acquire sufficient energy, they can free themselves, and then they jump into the conduction band so that they can contribute to the conduction process. So in order to liberate them, or let's say to free them, you require to overcome this energy gap, that is the energy state, that is greater than 5 electron volt. So if you do so, these electrons will acquire enough energy so that they can leave the valence band and they will jump into conduction band. Then only you will have plenty of free charge carriers in the conduction band. How about the energy band diagram for the semiconductor? You can see that there is a valence band and all the electrons are there. And at the conduction band, there are few available charge carriers. However, if you want to have so many charge carriers, that is the electrons, free electrons, then you need to overcome the energy gap associated with respect to semiconductor. For silicon, it is 1.1 electron volt. For germanium, it is 0.67 electron volt. So if you overcome this much energy gap, your valence electrons will leave the valence band and they will have the entry into the conduction band. They will be called as free electrons, which will be contributing the conduction into the semiconductor material. The germanium has a lower energy gap in order for valence band electrons to jump into the conduction band, because there are free charge carriers of in the germanium material is 1,000 times more than the free charge carriers available for the silicon material. Now, the final one, the conduction band and the valence band, in case of a conductor, they are overlap. It means there is a band gap overlap. There is no required energy gap to be overcome in order for free electrons from valence band to jump into the conduction band. So at 0 Kelvin, or at absolute zero, that is 273 degrees centigrade, all the valence electrons of semiconductor materials are locked in their outermost shell of the atom. Right over here, you see the outermost shell of an atom. They are all tightly locked here. They are not set free. So they have their particular energy level associated with the valence band. So this is the energy level of a valence point associated with them. However, if you increase the temperature from, let's say, 0 Kelvin to 300 Kelvin, or so in other words, from minus 273 to 25 degree centigrade, then the large number of valence electrons acquire sufficient energy and they leave this valence band, they cross this energy gap, and then they enter into the conduction band. So at room temperature, that is at 25 degrees centigrade, you have plenty of free charge carriers. And therefore, your semiconductor material at room temperature can have sufficient number of free charge carriers. However, they still do not be behaving like a conducting material, because in conductor, you have conduction and valence band overlapped right over here. How about the behavior of the conductor at 0 Kelvin? So in 0 Kelvin, obviously, conductor has plenty of electrons in the conduction band, even at 0 Kelvin. Therefore, if you increase the temperature further, let's say 25 degree at room temperature, there are more than enough free charge carriers to sustain a heavy flow of charge or the current into the conductor. So that's how your energy level diagram for the insulator, for the semiconductor, and for the conductor can be explained. Okay, so hope you found this module useful to understand the energy levels, energy gap of a silicon atom, and then you understood the energy diagram for the three types of material, that is insulator, that is semiconductor, and the conductor. If you like this module, share it with others for a wider reach. Stay tuned for more engaging content like this. Till then, wish you happy learning.